Dean C. Jesse had also published Hofmann documents in his own scholarly work, including his book, The Personal Writings of Joseph Smith. In Jesse's mind, there was no way Hofmann could have forged these documents. Or could he? Throckmorton examined a letter allegedly from Joseph Smith to Jonathan Dunham, written in Carthage. Comparing it side by side with two other letters of known provenance, written by the prophet while incarcerated in Carthage jail, it became apparent that the handwriting and the writing instrument used to create the two known letters was entirely different from the Dunham letter sold to Brent Ashworth by Mark Hofmann. Quote, Throckmorton began to wonder how Joseph Smith, in jail, could have changed his handwriting, his writing instrument, and his paper within a few hours? End quote. Perplexed, Throckmorton compared the Salamander letter, the Dunham letter, the Josiah Stoll letter, and the Lucy Mack Smith letter, all purportedly found by Hofmann. The handwriting was strikingly similar. Throckmorton called Jesse. I think you've got yourself a $3 bill. Apparently, their science wasn't quite as foolproof as they had thought. The investigation's progress hit a bump in the road, though, when Mark Hofmann agreed to submit to a renowned polygraph test, and he passed with flying colors. The media, Hoffman's friends, and more importantly, the New Mormon historians rallied to Hoffmann's defense. Throckmorton needed to test the original documents. When he approached Jesse for access to the originals, he found himself stonewalled by the progressive historians at BYU, and the investigation came to a halt. Despite their claims of objectivity and open-mindedness, they had become the Salamander letter's guardians, its knight in less than shining armor. Quote, Throckmorton approached Dean C. Jesse to obtain the original documents Hofmann had sold to the church so they could be tested. Jesse shook his head. The investigation was unpopular among historians. Leonard won't let you have them, he guessed. Throckmorton telephoned Leonard Arrington, now head of the Church History Institute at BYU. He knew Arrington had been widely quoted in the press, stating that at least 5 of the Mormon documents Hofmann had discovered were definitely authentic. Now, Throckmorton introduced himself and told Arrington he needed photographs of the Hofmann documents. Arrington said he could offer no help, except to suggest that Throckmorton pursue some other line of inquiry. You're on the wrong track, he advised, as they ended the conversation. End quote. Bypassing the New Mormon history scholars and going straight to church leadership, Throckmorton was finally able to gain access to the original documents. In mid-December of 1985, he and fellow investigator William Flynn began their analysis. Flynn was, quote, an old friend and a document examiner for the state of Arizona. What's your religion? Throckmorton asked. Flynn said he was a non-practicing Catholic. Perfect, thought Throckmorton. A Catholic who doesn't even go to church, end quote. Throckmorton's work in questioning Hofmann's documents found critics throughout the country. The Library of Congress was considering the purchase of Hofmann's Oath of a Freeman. Renowned experts had verified many of Hofmann's documents, and tests had confirmed their authenticity. The absence of evidence supporting theories about Hofmann's forgery left many people wondering whether Hofmann was, quote, the target of some church and state conspiracy in the wilds of Utah, end quote. In spite of the opposition and being called a crackpot, a determined Throckmorton boldly, perhaps even heroically, pursued the investigation. When Throckmorton and Flynn began testing the documents inside the church vault, security was tight.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.